Hello and welcome to Fire Them Cannons Arsenal podcast. This is episode 18. I'm your host, Cal, with my co-host here, Anton. And we have a lot to talk about today. 2 victories. But before we get into it, please hit that like button and please subscribe as it helps support the channel. And please hit our links in the both corners. There's kind of QR code it'll take you to subscribe to our individual channels. And I just want to ask Anton, how are you doing, my friend? How are you feeling?
Dude, you cannot rub the smile off of my face. For anybody who weren't on the terrace this morning, I was literally sitting there with my sunglasses on, backwards baseball cap, and I put the background. Actually, show the background. I'll show everyone the background I had this morning. It's just very triggering. It said first in the Premier League and first in the Champions League. So that's how I'm feeling, bro. Like,
you're not wrong. Are you wrong though? It's just truths.
Oh man, we'll obviously get into why we're all happy, but dude, that's so happy. And by the way, I was looking at the intro video. We got to add some good goals into that. Like I got some EZE hat trick stuff to put in there. Some good Champions League goals against Bayern. Man, we're
the Zubimendi has scored like the Zubimendi banner. We have to put in there.
Yeah. Gotta update that intro because
obviously the Rice one just stays. That's just permanent one. Hey,
both of them.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it's just so much to be happy about. Going away to Tottenham, winning them, absolutely spanking them, absolutely feeling on top of the world as his coming out party, and then I was still celebrating that to go. We didn't go to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich came to us, and they've been like these guys that really, really has given us trouble in the past. And to just win so profoundly and so emphatically is just makes us feel like we're on top of the world, and we're just in just such a great mood. And it's such a good feeling, especially because, going into the international break, we kind of dropped points against, Sunderland. I almost said Burnley again. All against Sunderland, and you've been kind of down in the dumps for that, and then we've come back and we've just kind of smashed it straight from the get. So yeah, and we have a good show for you today.
Tell you, Cal, though, by the way, like we were doing the last pod, and everybody here was like downbeat, and I'm like, guys, just wait until we start playing football again. You'll be happy again. Just wait until we smash Spurs and beat Bayern and do the third thing. I'm not going to jinx that we'll talk about in our next podcast after this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all of a sudden, that will just bring the belief right back, so.
Yeah, but we have a good, very, very good show for you today. I mean, if you're an Arsenal fan, you're going to love it. If you're a rival, you're probably not going to love it too much because we're just in such good moods. And the first thing that we want to talk about today is, because we're just chomping at the bit to talk about it because it literally just happened. The Arsenal versus Bayern Munich reaction. What do we think of the game? How did it go? And tell me how you feel about the result and the game and the tactics, Anton.
Yeah, well, look, the result obviously was just fantastic. And I've been going on and on and on and on about how this is the best team in Europe. I said it when everybody thought it was crazy. And I sat on a panel this morning with 8 or 9 people, and all of them said, everyone, I actually literally took notes. I put a name of every person down on the panel and said if they would say they're Arsenal the best squad. All the Liverpool fans said it. All the Arsenal fans said it. And most importantly for me on that podcast, Terry said it. It's becoming common knowledge now that Arsenal are the best team. This was the game for me that cemented that. Everyone wanted to know, what did Arsenal look like against some of the big giants, the European giants? Bayern Munich were coming to the Emirates, the same Bayern who absolutely have the best record against us. We have got trauma when it comes to this club. They beat us 5-1, not in over 2 legs, in each leg to be 10-2 in aggregate once upon a time. They knocked us out of the Champions League 2 years ago. This version of Arsenal have been traumatized by Bayern Munich. Like the last 10 games we played against them prior to this, I think we had 1 victory. And that was, I think it was a 2-1 win at home or 2-0 win at home. I mean, in the group stages. The rest of them have been wins. I think we had like a couple draws in there. The one and all the time they've absolutely smashed us. We've been a level below. And Ivan Gazidis. Now I know he's not around anymore, but he once said when we built the Emirates, like we're building the Emirates so that one day we can compete with Bayern Munich. He quoted the name Bayern Munich, and the prophecy has been fulfilled. I mean, in some sort of way, like just a full circle moment. And yeah, this squad is the best. It's now past that test. The way we sent Spurs to the side as well the other day, and now back that up by beating Bayern. Incredible. And the tactics, I think, were spot on. I think we allowed Bayern to sort of feel a false sense of confidence by giving them a little bit more possession of the ball. And basically, once they realized that this defense is indestructible, they lost that confidence pretty quickly. And all of a sudden, we took the ball, we took possession, we had the majority of the chances. We were the team who was threatening. We were the team who, by the way, we intimidated them in the set piece areas, because I think one of the things that the European teams aren't as used to than the Premier League teams are, because it's very famous that we are great at the set pieces and all the Premier League teams are on edge about it. But Bayern came in here with a little bit of ignorance, and I think it was the first or second set piece we had, the corner, Saka put in.
I'm not sure if they came in with ignorance. Did you hear what Harry Kane was saying before the game? I think Harry Kane was saying that he was expecting us to score from set pieces and stuff, and that he said that he's kind of trying to downplay our set pieces.
Well, Harry Kane got his ears in the English media. I'm talking maybe the rest of his teammates aren't though.
I think the world kind of knows about our set pieces at this point. I just don't think people can stop them. It's not like people are stopping them in the Prem. You know what I mean? It's not like anyone's really come up with a really good solution. I think the only team that was really kind of stopping us from doing them too much was Newcastle, and we still ended up scoring from a set piece from them, and that's because of the giants Newcastle have. But just on that first half, I didn't think that we purposely gave them the ball in terms of the possession,
because I thought it was odd. I thought it was really strange.
They're just good.
How they had 77% of the ball at one point.
No, I think what was happening is that first of all, they're really good. I mean, we have they it's not like Arsenal were just kind of 100% in control all the time, because they're Bayern Munich, and they were undefeated for a reason, on top of the table for a reason, joined with us as well. I think what was happening is that they were pressing a lot of the times. When we were trying to, they wouldn't let us build up from the back, so they were pressing, and then Raya would kind of just shoot the ball long, and we weren't actually winning the duels that well. So they would just get the ball back and just continue pressing. But the thing is, they won't, because we're so good in shape, they were not creating anything. What was happening is that they would pressure us to give up the ball. They would take the ball, but they wouldn't be able to break us down or create any semblance of a chance at all. So it was a real kind of stalemate in that first half. And obviously but I still thought that our chances were just more dangerous than theirs, in my opinion. And once we scored from that set piece, which I just laughed when we did, because I literally didn't even pop my fists in the air. I literally burst out laughing because of how ridiculous it is that we just score from a set piece every time. And it was our first set piece too. It was like the first corner that we got, we just scored a goal, timber. So that was really funny to me. And I thought we were going to take more control of the game after that, but I think what was a big thing in that first half as well is where they were getting the most joy is that they kept attacking Lewis Skelly, and they kept attacking him over and over and over and over again, especially after they scored that first goal, which was a really good goal. And they just Skelly was getting cooked by both EZE and that other guy, that kid, 17-year-old kid. What's his name?
Carl? Yeah, I believe last name is Carl.
Yeah, so that was pretty much our only weakness, was that left-hand side. Other than that, I thought it was a pretty decent contest. For me personally, just going into the game, I wasn't actually taking it that seriously. just because I was thinking, even if we draw, and even if we lose, I thought it would just be like by 1 goal or something. I was kind of like laser focused on the Prem, especially because I know that we are definitely going to get into the top 8 in the champs in this group stage. So there's no way that wasn't going to happen. So, but to be honest, I was very surprised that how seriously the managers was taking the game. You both Arteta and what's his name? Company. They both got yelled. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember sometimes with names on the fly.
He used to play for Man City.
Yeah.
Man City to multiple titles.
Yeah. He bit of a fraud, but anyway, he got a yellow.
I've never seen a manager go from Burnley to Bayern.
Yeah. He got a yellow card as well. So they both were like, I think they both wanted to win that game. The way the players and
it was 1 versus 2 in the champs. It was we were level on goal difference. Yeah. Both at the top, both perfect at that point. A lot was on the line, really.
But to be honest, it was just kind of like, it wasn't. I don't think that much was on a line in terms of points, like in terms of points and table. That from that perspective, I mean,
but you realize that this year they have home field advantage, right? So if you finish in the top 2, you're going to get all the second legs at home through to the semifinal. So
yeah, but still, I think for me, it felt like the teams just wanted to prove that they were the best. This wasn't really about the points. I felt like it was more about no, I am the best team. And that's what I kind of felt.
The first time this year, I felt like we were genuinely broken down. They equalize a goal by a club that's because they've got genuine quality.
Yeah, it was like a mistake or anything.
Switched off for a second. Like I feel like I was a bit harsh on Miles because I said everybody in the team was a 7 minimum except for Miles Lewis-Skelly. But the thing is that
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, no, I think it is a fair assessment. But the thing is that when you're playing a team like Bayern, you switch off for a second and they're in. It's just, the margins are so thin.
And it's not only that they're in, it's that they punish you. So you can slip up sometimes against some of these lower teams, and it's a scare. Bayern, they will just score the goal. You know what I'm saying? It's like your margin of error is so low. It's like no. It's like you slip up, you concede. You just concede, which is it's just what happens when you're playing like these top teams.
On the side note, guys, we got a lot of people in the chat this morning. So, guys, in the comment section below, we will read out. Let us know your thoughts on the Bayern game. How do you think of the performances? What do you think of Arsenal's chances to win the Champions League? Let us know anything, your thoughts in the comment section. I got a few to read out. This one, we'll start off with who was here first. Our main man David was tweeting. Not tweeting. What am I talking about? He was commenting before the show started. He goes, "Please don't let this continue into the new year. I can't start the new year listening, watching, and hearing about Arsenal being scary." Yeah, David has been literally sharing his feelings about how he feels about Arsenal. How he can't stand how arrogant we are. Me specifically, and some of the other fans. Let me tell you,
we're not as obnoxious as certain Liverpool fans, mate. It's all good.
Yeah, we're gonna be happy. We're gonna think that we're gonna win the league, but we're not gonna pretend like we know football more than you. Yeah, that's the difference between I think us and like Liverpool, for instance. You know what I mean? Like literally, I've spoken to Liverpool fans, and they talk to me like football for dummies.
I think
I mean, that's all I'll say. Then big up to None of Your Business. Hey, first time I've seen you comment in the chat, so welcome. Make sure you're liking and subscribing if you haven't already. He wrote, "Will this be the least competitive season in recent history?" Yes, this is rage bait, but curious.
I don't think it's going to be as a big of a gap as last season. Honestly, I like if the gap is that huge in terms of what Liverpool did last season, that'd be amazing for me and for all Arsenal fans. But to be honest, Liverpool fans, like at this point, I think last year, I don't think they would like even sniffed. No one was even sniffing like around to where they were like. So,
yeah. I mean, look, everyone likes to tell me it's only November. So like City, we're only up above City by 7 points.
Well,
You know,
that's actually a lot
we
of
have to go
points.
to the Etihad. We have to go to Etihad,
Yeah.
so it's basically 4 points. Like we have to earn those other three really to maintain it.
I mean, to
And
be honest,
Chelsea,
yeah.
it's a 6 point gap. We go to the weekend, we lose this weekend, it's down to 3. So I wouldn't say it's gonna be the least competitive season in recent history. I would love for it to be that, but yeah,
I think it's the least competitive for Liverpool. But that's about
I think the
it.
least competitive defending champion ever.
Yeah.
I think even Leicester had more points at this point in the season on their.
But then again, Leicester didn't spend like 400 million, close to 400 to 500
No,
million.
that's the even that's
Didn't they lose? Didn't they lose like Mahrez? Like
they lost
season?
Kante right away. Kante went to Chelsea that summer. Mahrez, I still think they still had for another season or two.
Okay. But yeah, to be honest, that Leicester team was kind of stacked. Like looking back on it, but yeah, it's a pretty. I don't think it's going to be very nice for Liverpool, but I still think there's still probably a couple of twists and turns, a couple of rage videos when we drop points. I would love it if we just don't for the rest of the season, but I can't say that right now, so.
I hate to delve into this, but I want to touch on Mikel Arteta today because
we didn't speak about the second half yet. We're still talking about the game.
Okay. Yeah, we're still talking about that because I wanted to chat about Mikel Arteta because I thought today was a statement made by him. Like for all of us who think that we know better.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying, and that's why I felt like today when I'm seeing him like screaming on the touchline, he's getting yellow cards. I think he wanted to prove that we are the best. I think that was something that he wants the team to kind of know themselves. And just on that second half, we came out that second half. I don't know what he told them, whatever Nutribars or whatever.
Like second half. That's why I think in the first half it was almost like, all right, let them have the ball, like frustrate them a little bit, see what they can do. Get a nice little
maybe there was a little bit of assessing to see, okay, what are you actually going to be like? And I think in that dressing room, Teta probably told them, okay, now it's like execute order 66 and we just go out there and we completely annihilate them, like right off the bat. They would like boxed in. And it's like the atmosphere at the Emirates, every time we win a corner, it's like it's really bad. Like I would hate to concede a corner at the Emirates as a rival, because you're just because we're so good at XP,
especially the start of the second half.
Yeah, because we're so good.
Get out.
Yeah, and because we're so good at set pieces and the crowd's so into it, it's like you create this kind of fortress and you just give the crowd a reason to just get up and like make noise, which is something that we need if we want to win the Champions League. I feel like we need like an insane atmosphere, and they couldn't do anything, and big up to Arteta. He made the subs, I know Madueke came in because Trossard got that injury scare. Hopefully that he's okay, but Madueke was doing well, and then
makes the lineup for the weekend interesting. Because we were talking about, maybe not live on air, but I think we did a little bit last week on the last pod with the Arsenal Alliance. We were talking about like Trossard has been one of our best players this season. Like Odegaard comes back, how does he get back into this team? Or Madueke, how does he get back into this team? Martinelli, how do you get back in this team? Because Trossard had earned that spot, and if Trossard's fit for the weekend, I think he'd still have that spot. But now that Martin Odegaard is back, do we shift Eze to the left? Because Eze is starting to find form in the middle now. Now it's getting a little bit tricky. He's picking up the pockets of space and he's really starting to dictate the game. He's looking, I would say he's not just looking like the Palace Eze, he's looking like an upgraded version. Like he's upgraded his software and he's playing it in an Arsenal way.
Well, yeah, that was always going to happen. That was always going to happen. He was always going to change his game to kind of suit what we do, because no player that we've ever gotten hasn't kind of changed kind of what they do. I think bar Zubimendi is probably the only person I could think of that just kind of came in and just continued playing the way he usually does. Because I think Zubimendi was such a specific signing for us. It was like, okay, we need you to do this thing, and he kind of just does
He
it
was already
from the
doing what we
start.
kind of wanted
Yeah,
him to
yeah.
do.
But for
And
others,
I feel
kind
like
of
Gyökeres was doing what I would want him to do, but Arteta has other plans. But
yeah. In terms of to fit into the team. So yeah, so Madueke, so he made that sub, he subbed Saka off, and you know, I was thinking, man, like I wasn't really upset or anything. I was like, okay, good,
confused
because I was a
where
little
we need a
confused.
goal. We took
Yeah,
off
I
our
was a
number
little
one
confused,
threat.
but for me personally, I was thinking, we need Saka for Chelsea any weekend. Good job, you know, to get him out of there. And I
At
knew
that
that
point, though, were you happy with a 1-1 if that was the result, though?
I I wouldn't be happy with the result, but I knew the way we were playing that we were gonna do something. We are gonna at least have a couple shots on target or something like that. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't upset about it. And as I said before, going into the game, I didn't think this was a must-win game. You know, so my eyes is on that prem. That's my eyes on the prize. I'm thinking, you know, yep, I think rest Saka, you know, bring on some of our other players that, you know, need a run out. You know, Martinelli, yep, you need a run out. Yep, sub in Kala for MLS because MLS was having like a horrendous game. And so I was happy with the subs. And yeah, and we, you know, Calafiori, his impact, like I need to apologize to Calafiori because I was like screaming for MLS to start over him, but I think Calafiori is really like you kind of see the levels in terms of defending and also attacking, because the thing with Cala as well, it's like how does Nkapia get into the team with Calafiori's playing like that, and he's overlapping?
I mean, Nkapia got into the team by playing left center back, and he was
I'm talking about
against Spurs. I think
I'm talking
Nkapia
about
will start the Chelsea game. I think that's
I'm talking about like if everyone's fully fit. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like fully fit starting 11. Like it's very hard. Like it'll be very hard to justify Calafiori not just starting over everyone else because of his performances and because of like what he provides inverting and what he provides on the overlap. So yeah, and he, you know, he links up, he does the overlap, he whips in an awesome ball, and Madueke is at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? And then we score. We've done this. I felt like this is the third or fourth time I'm seeing this season. Ball over the top, Martinelli scores. Like he keeps doing it every game, and he just loves scoring in the Champions League. And it was like an imperious victory. And shout out to Declan Rice. He got man of the match, and he deserves it. And Declan Rice is gonna have to have some uncomfortable conversations about Declan Rice because it's not what he's doing is not normal.
By the way, did you not look at the Bayern lineup? You saw Pavlovic and Kimmich, and like Declan Rice is eating today.
Yeah,
like you looked at that lineup, and I'm like, Declan Rice is way better. Like that's the think about how far we've come as a football club. We're going up against Bayern, and I'm looking at their lineup, and I'm like, our midfield, both of our midfielders. I mean, I rate Kimmich. I actually think he's fallen off a little bit in terms of he's not quite the player I think he used to be. Because I would pick both Rice and Zubimendi over Kimmich at this point in their careers. So
yeah,
like
I still have a lot of respect for Kimmich though. Like I respect us. He knocked us out.
I mean, Kimmich was good today.
He knocked us out in our first
Did
Champions
he
League
play
campaign.
the initial ball that led to their goal?
Yeah, he did. I think he did.
Yeah,
I think he did.
Yeah.
So he's no scrub. And let's forget the reason why we weren't just winning all our duels and keeping all the possession all the time is because he was part of that midfield that was kind of winning the ball back for Bayern as well.
Yeah, big up to EZE 3252. Make sure you're liking and subscribing, my friend. He says, or she can't really.
She can't tell anything.
If you would like to to clarify, because of your username is gender neutral, at least from what I'm reading. Anyway, they say Arsenal can win UCL, but in semi-quarter should be away game in first game. Well, if we finish at the top of the group of the league standings, we will play our first games away in every single knockout phase. So it was.
Oh, really?
I agree with that take. I mean, it wasn't necessary when we played Real Madrid. Sometimes you can just play that first game at home, blow it away, and then make that second leg
The
a
thing
lot more
is,
manageable. So like,
if it is every single game, until the final, you get
not every
home.
game you get it's two
No, no,
legs.
every second leg is
Yeah,
home. That's actually huge because I feel like the Emirates is such a, as I said, is becoming a fortress. And if we can do
if we get
that,
those tifos right, like we did against
yeah,
Spurs.
yeah, then it's curtains. I think that's probably why they were fighting for it as well. If we do get every away every second leg at home, that'd be a huge boon. Big reason to kind of go hard for this in this game then.
Yeah, and if you look at the 3 games we got remaining, by the way, in this group, we got Club Brugge in Belgium. Now, Club Brugge, I'm pretty sure, did they lose or draw with Barca? But they gave them a good game.
Yeah,
That was
did they beat Barca or did they draw with Barca?
that was one
I remember
Jamal
it
had the
being a
goal. It was 2 days
yeah
before we had our big debate.
yeah
Um, so that, I mean, that's a way. The last team I don't even heard of. The last team we played, we also got Inter away from home as well. So that
yeah.
Inter game is going to be interesting. I think it'll be similar to that. Although we're going to be at the San Siro and we lost there last year, so that's going to be an interesting game. But who's the last team we play? Kairat. I don't even actually like. I'm showing how little I know. I don't even actually know what country they're from. But yeah, I don't know. But it's looking good. Like I'm looking at 2 games where we can rotate players, and prioritize the league. I think Inter obviously is a different kettle of fish, but yeah, I think, I mean, we can go away to Club Brugge. Not saying change it to like what we did against Prague, but change it. Rest some key players, because who we have on the weekend that weekend in between. We got we would have just played Villa, and then we'd have Wolves. Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
not.
we'll be fine.
Yeah.
What I will say though is that you wanted to how did you feel about Arteta uh,
Yeah, look,
in this
I
game?
said it today this morning on the terrace. I had Arteta actually. I know Declan Rice was amazing, and I gave him an 11 out of 10. But I think this game, Arteta won this game for us today,
Yeah, I
because
agree.
all of us were saying Calafiori. We need Calafiori on. We need Calafiori on. We need Calafiori on. Like everyone, like anybody from their couch could have made that sub. But the one sub that the balls that he had to take off Saka and to bring on Martinelli. And Martinelli, who's been injured for about a month plus, this is his first time coming back, right? He puts Nani out onto the right, and Nani's first touch from the right, goal.
Well, this is
And
first
that
touch
was,
from the right.
yeah, first of all, Calafiori's first touch in the game is the cross, and Nani's first touch from the right is the goal. Instant impact. Within less than a minute of the sub being made, it leads to goal. Saka comes off, and like Saka was unplayable today. So we were talking about Saka or Elise. A lot of people have made
Yeah,
those
dude.
comparisons.
Saka was getting.
Man,
I
it's
was
day
watching
and night.
my man's was getting triple teamed, bro. I see him get the ball, and then it's like, it's like, why am I seeing 3 Bayern Munich players like surrounding my guy? It's like, dude, you're Bayern Munich.
Yeah, Yetza, 3-2-5-2 back again. It goes, let me hear about Lewis. How's your opinion? All right. I don't know what Cal's think, but this is my thought on Lewis, right? I'm Miles Lewis Skelly. I think that he really took a hit in terms of his ability to win a spot in this team, because everybody else in this defense, you can switch them in and out and you don't notice an impact. Today was the first time I had somebody else in defense today on the left-hand side, and it was a weak spot where he looked like he was out of his depth. And Cal, as Cal said, Calafiori's not losing that spot now. Like the minute that Miles Lewis Skelly came off, and you notice the instant upgrade from him to Calafiori, I'm like, Miles is not going to get regular game time.
Yeah. What I was gonna say.
Nkapie was amazing on the weekend against Spurs. So like, more than likely until Gabriel comes back. Because there was here's the thing. You had, and I feel like Arteta was doing this as being fair. There was a spot open in our back four because Gabriel was injured. And he was like, on the weekend, he gave the chance to Hincapié and to Calafiori to earn that spot.
Yep.
Then he switched it. He went with Miles, Lewis Kelly, and Mosquera. Mosquera passed his test today. Calafiori already has been in the back four, and Hincapié passed his test. The one who did not is Miles Lewis Kelly. So he's the one who would have had a chance to get himself a spot back in the team with Gabriel being out, and I think he sort of lost that today, unfortunately for him. That's sort of my take on that. What do you say, Cal?
I was one of the guys who was saying that MLS should be starting over Carla based on his performance last season, but I feel like MLS and for what he was doing for England, MLS needs. It's pretty obvious. Like when we started in the season, in preseason, I noticed that he didn't look like himself at all. And at the early parts of the season, I don't think he looked like himself either. I think, unfortunately, MLS is a player that needs like a run of games before he starts looking imperious. But we can't give him a run of games to get up to form. Like, we just don't. So he needs to be playing consistently in order to get back up to his level, because I think he really needs game time now. And he's also feeling very nervous because he's a young man and he was on top of the world last season, starting for Arsenal week in, week out. And now he's just not starting for Arsenal. And he's also got dropped from England, which I thought was a bit unfair despite him playing well for England. So I feel like the mental factors and his immaturity, because he is young and he's not 100% sure of himself, I think that has a lot to do with what his game and his performance today. And I think it was really unlucky that he was going up against, Elise and what's his name, Carl, who looks like one of the best up and coming bright stars.
Canabry cooked him for the goal.
Yeah, and he was getting cooked. He literally got cooked by
all of them went to his side. They literally were like, we're not doing anything against Timber. Timber had Elise in a headlock, and they're like, all right, well, we're not getting anything from this side. Let's all attack Miles Lewis Kelly.
Yeah. He kept getting rinsed over and over and over again, and I think he just I still believe in him. I still think he'll come good.
I mean, he's not playing Bayern Munich every week, though. We have to call.
I think he just needs a couple more games. It's like once the Carabao Cup comes back, he speaks. Then again, we're kind of like in the knockout phases of that, so we might start taking that a little bit more seriously. But in terms of, I think he just needs a run of games before he starts to play like himself. But we just
pointed out a few Club Brugge and Wolves. I reckon he'll start back to back in those games.
Yeah.
And Wolves, I know he's got some revenge for that one because he got sent off last year. So I feel like maybe there's some motivation for Arteta to start him in that game specifically. Big up to my man Tyrell Gunner TV in the building. He says, "Big up Anton and Cal." Big up to you, Tyrell.
Big up to you, my friend.
Yeah, big up.
Okay, we're 35 minutes in, and we're still talking about the Man Munich reaction.
Let's wrap up the Bayern stuff. Overall, Cal, how do you how are you feeling about Arsenal's chances in the Champions League and how we stack up against the rest after 5 games?
I feel really good about the Champions League. I feel like this win kind of was a statement. It makes me feel way more confident about the competition. To be honest, I was worried that I'm more worried about Bayern Munich. Not for the game itself, but later on in the competition. But we've kind of proven that we can go toe to toe to them and beat them. And let's face it, the only person that they were really missing, well, I guess they were missing Luis Diaz, and who's never really, he's not like he cooks us when he was playing. Obviously. Yeah, and Musiala. That's about it. And I'm not sure how Musiala is going to be when he comes back. So, I'm pretty confident, and I think we're the favorites to win the Champions League. And
first time in my lifetime we've been favorites to win the Champions League.
The bookies has us as the favorites, and I think I still think that we're the best in the competition right now, but it's very tricky. But I'll say that yeah, I think our chances of winning the competition is higher than it's ever been.
Yeah, Tyrell goes, what a win last night in the second half. It was much better. Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
was.
thought the second half was phenomenal from Arsenal. Like, not even the second half in this game, the second half of the game previously as well. And obviously, we're going to get into that. Well, we'll do a segue into this, Cal. Like,
Yeah. No, but you tell me, like in terms of, let's just do man of the matches, each of us. My man of the match, personally was Declan Rice, and he got man of the match. I think it was absolute bonkers what he was doing defensively and offensively. Who was your man of the match?
man, I mean, it has to be Declan Rice. I mean, the metrics for go and take a look. Like what Declan Rice did in this game was off the charts. The domination that he put on together midfield, like, man, it was unconsensual.
Yeah,
what he did, we did.
you just
Pavlovich today. Like, there's so many candidates though, because there's so many players, like players who made an impact. Like I thought Timber was outstanding. Like people were talking about how
Tim was really good.
Elise and Elise specifically was. You know, he's gone up the list of everybody's favorite wingers in the world, and Jurgen Timber made him feel like he was back at Crystal Palace again. Like, and not just that, Gnabry went to that side. He was silent when anybody went to that side, tried to attacking down our.
And he scored the goal. So yeah,
and he scored the goal. So he's definitely a candidate for it.
He's kind of inherited a little bit of the dark arts from Ben as well, with that little
the
slight nudge,
spectacular as well.
The slight nudge he gave
was amazing. Madueke, I think when he switched to the right was fantastic. Like Calafiori when he came on was fantastic. Martinelli when he came on was, Martinelli for me is back. I can trust him again, fully. Like I know that guy's going to come on. He's going to make an impact. Amazing.
I think he's found it. I think he's kind of found his role.
It has to be Rice though. I'd say it has to be.
Alrighty.
Rice.
And now that we've kind of wrapping up the Bayern Munich talk, time to talk about something that we didn't get to talk about, and that was the North London derby, which is something that that we played last weekend, and that was.
I'm really curious to hear your take on this because everybody here has heard
amazing.
Mine.
But yeah, just tell me, what are your thoughts?
Your feelings? No.
My feelings.
Yeah.
My feelings.
Know how I felt. Everyone here has seen my reel about how I reacted to the game. I'll come back and follow up on that type of stuff. But really, Cal, I am curious to see.
I'm going to be honest.
You felt your emotions, your feeling of the game, everything. Eberechi Eze, like, come on, they are crying at the lane. Eberechi Eze has scored again. I'm not going to sing it. I just rhymed it instead. Like, dude, like,
yeah, like going into the game, I was really nervous. I thought we were going to drop points because just context. Let's take it back. We just watched Liverpool get spanked. We watched Man City lose as well. And I'm thinking, this is one of those opportunities, that we've been here before. Our rivals drop points. We don't capitalize. And, I was really nervous about it, because it was like we still lost against Sunderland. That was the last game that we played. And this was our first game back from the international break. And I wasn't too sure what Arsenal I was going to see, And yeah, I had a strange feeling that we were going to drop points. I thought you were going to maybe drop points, get a draw. I thought you were going to draw the game, and I thought it would be like just a weird game, right? Not based on football, not because Spurs are this great team, and this was right before the game started. I was feeling like this, like during the week, when you're thinking logically, it was like obviously we're going to beat Spurs, but when you're getting up to the game, it's like, oof, man. But like. Yeah, it was an absolute demolition job, and I was so happy to like just watch Spurs lose and just to know that okay, we're playing the way that we should be playing. You know what I'm saying?
You were going to hit on that because you've been asking for this.
Yeah, we're just doing the thing. We're doing the thing, and that first goal goes in. Trossard. I think that it was the first of all the Moreno lob over the top. Which is, I don't know why, but Moreno he keeps doing it again and again. He keeps.
You notice he's a moments player.
He
Like
is a
he can
moments
have
player.
overall an average game, but he comes up with moments.
Yes, he's 100% a moments player, man. Like he just is just he'll just do something, and we kind of need players like that, and that's why he's so good when he comes off the bench as well. We saw that against Newcastle, but yeah, so that ball over the top, which is absolutely fantastic. Trossard, he grabs
That
it, he
was not
scores.
easy, by the
Trossard,
way.
for some
Trust outside
reason,
of that. Oh,
like at the time, I was just like Trossardinho because he always, at least this season, he's been on fire, and that breaks the deadlock, and then it's the floodgates. Then it's like the
by the way,
pits.
great legends at this club score goals with that type of technique.
Yeah.
Dennis Bergkamp has scored goals with that type of technique, where he's able to collect the ball and swivel and still finish. Thierry Henry has scored goals with that type of technique. I feel bad I didn't put Trossard on the thumbnail just because it was all
Oh, I
about
think it's
but
because it's a deflection as well. That's why.
a little bit, but just the composure to collect that out of the air, swivel, turn around completely his body, and be able to still find the bottom
I think he
corner.
would get more credit if it was like a clean shot. I think it was on target anyway, but I think I think he was aiming for bottom right, but the deflection was strong enough to it just kind of rolled left into the goal. So he kind of like that's why Moreno got more of the credit for
Vicario
that
was
one.
poor on that, by the way.
Yeah,
I
Just
tell you, I was
Vicario is a
fully
fraud.
expecting Vicario to save
Yeah,
that.
Vicario is a bit of a fraud. And then in the first 5 minutes, like the dink over the top that Eze just did that little chip, and then Declan Rice, is through on goal, and if he just hits it anywhere that isn't directly forward, to be honest, he strikes the ball very cleanly, but Vicario saves it. And then Eze just decided that, hey, I'm just gonna have like the best game of my career now. And he and the thing is with Eze, like I'll just say this about Eze, it's like he plays like he has like a million years on the ball. Like he never rushes anything. He's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna take the ball here and go here and then do that.
Yeah,
And it's like he's moving in slow. It's like he's moving in slow motion. Like even the second goal that he scored, he's just like, he's not even. It wasn't even an aggressive. Normally when people see a defender closing in on them, maybe they do like a aggressive chop. Remember, like the one that like Jesus scored. I think it was against Spurs. Where like the aggressive chop, and then you see my man just sliding away, and then he scores. But as he didn't even chop, he literally just kind of like waited. He was just like on the ball, slowed down a little bit. I can't remember who was closing him down, but the defender just kind of like runs straight past him, and then he just shoots on target and scores. And that's just what he does. And he's just this maestro. He is a moments guy. And I think for Palace, he's been like a moments guy. But I think this was one of the first performances where he was like not just a moments guy. He was actually like playing like during the game. Like he wasn't just having these one or two moments. He was kind of like doing a little bit of dictating himself. He was, passing the ball around, being more involved in the build-up. Like he was doing a little bit more. And that's what we need him to do. And he's kind of been doing that. Like against, we didn't speak about Eze against Bayern, but that's kind of like what he was doing in the second half.
He was spectacular against Bayern too.
He was.
By the way, the assist,
Yeah.
I believe, was it for Martinelli?
Yeah, it was Eze.
He put that ball in the area where Martinelli just had to run on it. He's ready beyond Neuer.
Yep.
Neuer's out of the picture. Like that was a beautiful, perfectly executed pass. Like the goal by Martinelli, all he could do was run onto it and finish. Like it was put on a platter for him. It's ironic because people were saying, which by the way, totally false, that the goal he scored for England was because Foden put it in a perfect position.
Dude, the memes, the memes I saw after the game, because I wasn't really paying attention to the English media, right? I didn't know that they were taking away Eze's goal from him just to say that it was such a good pass from England.
It was a fucking amazing finish outside the box. And I tell
dude, that England goal, it's like top right corner from outside the box. Like Foden isn't the reason he had that finish. Like shut up. So I didn't know that they were saying that, right? So I'm like after the game, I'm like looking at comments and I'm just saying beautiful assist by Foden. It was just getting spammed after the the Tottenham game, I'm like, oh, okay, this is probably
because the
something that
commentator
happened.
said it. There's most
Yeah,
of those
yeah,
people are commenting and not taking the piss, like they don't mean
yeah,
it.
yeah. They
It's
don't
because
mean it.
I was watching the commentary of that game as well, and it's like oh, like as a score, what a great pass by Phil Foden, and it's like, is this Phil Foden back to his best? And I'm like, my fucking player just scored a banger, and you can't even.
And even
Oh,
the
just
goal
you
itself,
say
it
his
was like
name.
it was a 3-on-2, and he literally had Saka on one side and Eze on the other, sprinting with him. Like, you'd have to be a bozo not to fuck that one up. You're a professional football player. But anyway, that's besides the point. Like Eze, like I think it was his coming out party. And it's such a relief because I was saying that Eze was more disappointing than Gyökeres.
Yeah. Hey, what's your grade on his season now? I mean, it's one game, but like it's a huge
Well, it's
game. It's the North
it's two
London Derby.
games.
It could be one of our biggest games of the season. It defines the
Yeah,
season. In a
I
weekend where
mean, I'm not
all our
gonna.
rivals
He's not.
lost.
He's definitely not a disappointment. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing. On it, like honestly, just
Yeah,
keep doing what
you
you're
know what
doing.
we need now, Cal? When Gyökeres comes back from injury, for him to have a vintage performance too. And then I'd
To be
feel
honest,
like,
he did have a
and
vintage first half, but right before the injury. To be honest, it
yeah,
was
and he
that.
also, by the way, scored 2 against Atletico not long before that.
Yeah.
But like
So yeah.
to have, but the thing is Victor Gyökeres last year for Sporting had gained multiple hat tricks. Had one game where he had 5. Like that's what I'm talking about by a vintage performance where he's obviously running the other team ragged and he's in after again and again and again and putting the ball in the back of the net. Like that's what I felt like Eze was. Honestly, I watched this Eze goals probably about 17 times, and that's probably an underestimation of how many times I watched these goals. The more I watch it, the more I appreciate it. It was like he was possessed. And I've also I've seen a lot of videos of him when he was at Palace, watching him a lot of Palace. His off the ball movement, the way he's able to move his body to fake out defenders. As you say, it's like he's got people in slow motion. He can move 2 defenders without actually dribbling. So he'll go like
Yeah,
this
he
or
will.
like
Yeah,
that. He'll
yeah,
fake
he
to go
does. He
one
does.
direction, and the other guy will bite, and then he'll move in the other direction. And sometimes he'll even go bite and then bite again, and then the guy's like, "Where the fuck are you going?" And all of a sudden, it's like he's artistry on the ball. But David said this right, and if you're still in the chat here, and I know Ash was being a little bit pedantic when he used these terms, but David said this reminded him of some vintage Lionel Messi performances, like in terms of the finishes, like the way he's able to just glide in, finish bottom, like either precisely in the corners each time. It was like watching it on replay. I remember, I don't know if you were following the club at the time, but this was in 2010. We played the Champions League quarterfinals against Barcelona. We had 2-2 draw at home. Nicholas Bentner put Arsenal up 1-0. And after that, it was like Lionel Messi went into this zone. It was, by the way, 1-0 to Arsenal at halftime, by the way. Went into this zone into the second half. He scored 4 past us. And it was something like that, just by himself. And this is what kind of felt like with Eze. Like as if like it was preordained. And in the more I watch some stuff, like if you go back to watch that Ian Wright interview when he's first signed for the club, and Ian Wright goes, "Hey, go score for me in the North London Derby. Make your mark as an Arsenal legend by scoring in the North London Derby." He didn't just score; he scored a hat trick, and it could have been 4 or 5.
Yeah, him scoring. First of all, him scoring a hat, him being like in terms of just from a pure just storylines perspective, because like at the end of the day, people don't like talking about this too much. But sports is about storylines. It is. Sports is a story. It always will be. It always is, and it's why we love talking about the players and the clubs and the history. It's all about the storylines. You see that for the NBA, I watch a lot of NBA. Storylines is a big thing. Legacy is a big thing, and I don't. It's more embraced in the NBA, but I think we should embrace it more in football as well.
I think it's also big time in NFL as well.
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah,
They have
and this like the storyline for Eze, being an Arsenal fan growing up, being let go at the club, doing amazing, coming back. The prodigal son returns, and that's partly why we kind of wanted him in the
He
summer.
almost fucking joined the team he scored a hat trick against.
Yeah,
He
no,
almost
but
was on
yeah,
the other side.
but that's
And
part,
it's so funny, the interview,
that's all part of the story, right?
they thought
You're
they
going
had
to join
him.
you're going to join the rival. You pick up the phone, you call Arteta because that's what he said. He calls Arteta. He says, "Hey, I'm going to go to the Tottenham. Can you do something about this?" Arteta sound the alarm, gets him. Dog Spurs. Spurs are just absolutely just. It was one of the most beautiful days. I remember that morning waking up to the news, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" And then I messaged a group chat, and then Terry's like, "Hop on stream."
No,
And I
we're
came
going
on,
back. We're
and
going back.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was my
yeah,
I had a spreadsheet. And
yeah,
Arsenal is the best squad in the league.
yeah,
Oh wait,
yeah.
I gotta play this one. I gotta play this one again. Cal, I don't know if you've seen any of my shows, but I have this.
Where Anton was right.
There you go.
But yeah, and
Mm.
and like so that's all part of the storylines, and the fact that he could come in here, he's also from Crystal Palace, like Righty. He scores a hat trick against, against
Of course, he scores the
Spurs.
winner against Palace as well.
Yeah,
If you go back
and
even
the
further,
thing
so.
is, if we win the league this season, it just it makes it all kind of complete. Like when we scored those free kicks against, Real Madrid, it was a really awesome moment. I will never forget it. But imagine if we actually won the champs at the back of that. You know what I'm saying? It would be even more of a legend. So for Eze, it's like if we could go out there and he continues to play like this, and we win the league, and it's like he scored a hat trick against Tottenham, winning us the league. He's like a cult hero forever. Like,
I mean,
we will,
let's be honest,
like,
Cal, though.
forever.
Right? Our very first podcast, we come back to our very, very first podcast. The reason why we were both super excited about his signing and our difference in our energy, I would not have been pissing out some people off with my chest had this signing never happened. You saw what I was like before that.
Yeah.
Right? I was very pessimistic. I was on 6-sided, and I said that we would finish third. That it was like we were far behind the other two. Both of us knew the minute that what this Eze did, that was the missing piece. That was the needle mover.
The thing is,
and it's proven to be that.
Yeah, and exactly.
Gyökeres.
Yeah, and the thing is, when we were looking at what Liverpool was doing in the summer, I still had them as favorites. Before we got Eze, I was saying, okay, but we don't stand a chance, right? But once we got Eze, I was like, okay, I don't really care what Liverpool does anymore. I think we have a chance. And after we signed Gyökeres and we got Eze, I was like, okay, I don't care who Liverpool get. We have a chance to win this league because of the raw quality of the player, and he kind of showed that. We have a couple comments.
Yes,
Nate the Gunner. He says, "Good to see Arsenal pod with rational, logical guys." He's probably being sarcastic because we're so positive. And we have
everybody says I'm not rationally illogical at all, so I'm happy to hear. Yeah,
the dot kind of gives it away.
Yeah.
And then Sucker Star 41 says, "Let's not get carried away, lads. I love that we're doing right now, but pump the brakes." I mean, to be honest, we're just gushing about.
By the way, Sucker Star 41, love the name. I get Declan Rice. Good job.
We're not really saying anything too crazy.
Oh no, I appreciate that, Nate. I appreciate that, Nate. And by the way, I'm not the logical one. Cal's the logical one. This is the first time like I've really seen like Cal who's willing to say like, if we win this,
normally I'm not willing to entertain those discussions, but like, to be honest with you,
but
like take a look at a lot of the content you're seeing from like even rivals now. It's like, okay, like the team's a little different. Like the team's a little different now. Like I was watching an interview. Did you watch the interview between Henry and Rice?
Yeah.
After the game, and it's like TT's like completely changed his kind of stance. And
but what, Thierry made a bad negative comments towards Arteta.
Yeah. And it's like he's like the players are angry, and I think he's right. Like the players are playing with like an anger and like a fierceness that we haven't seen them kind of play with before. And I think it's because of first of all, because of our squad depth, we're allowed to have high competitors in all positions in the team. So while I think for the past couple of years we've had a first 11 that was like that, we didn't have people behind them that had the same mentality. Now that with our squad, we have a lot more players that just want to win, and that just changes everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um,
and look, at the same time, though, this is the rival thing that it annoys me, and I get the idea behind it. We've entertained it, like I don't trust Arsenal. They always seem to bottle it, blah 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 blah. But if you really look at it, like teams aren't, you can't always put teams in a box. They're not, or people individually as human beings. You think you are this, you will always be this, and I never subscribe to that. If anything, Arsenal, this squad of players with this manager needed to go through those experiences. When we bottled the league in 22-23 from the 8-point position, right? We weren't expected to be in that position. And suddenly we started to believe. And the fact that we dropped off and we lost like the way we did, we lost Saliba and everything fell apart. We were in control, and all of a sudden we had draws against Liverpool, West Ham, and Southampton, and it was gone out of thin air. Like, and that we learned from that, and we learned from being able to be near close to perfect the following season and almost getting it over the line, but we just missing out on the final
we
day.
pretty much lost in almost every.
You need to get through that stuff,
and we've pretty much lost in pretty much every possible way, whether it be bottling a lead, chasing, being so good and still not being good enough. And, then like last season being completely nuked by, injuries and whatnot, and, just not having what it takes, and just being the best of the rest, not even challenging.
In the summer, Cal, was also our board understanding their mistakes in the past. We sat here right before our first pod, and we liked some of the signings we brought in, but we were saying, Arsenal, we haven't shown enough ambition to really get us over the line. We had all the, we were perplexed as to why they picked Madueke instead of Eze. So we thought.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they had a switch, and it apparently came from Josh Kroenke, and he pushed for Eze. And then he pushed for, and they're like, no, we're not done yet. We're going to get Nkapie because we're going to make sure that this defend. By the way, how good is that signing turned out to be now that we found out what's happened with Gabriel? They didn't leave any stone unturned. I think from the management, the ownership, the players, Arteta, we've all been sick and tired of being second, and we wanted to do the difference to win it. And Liverpool and City, let's be honest here, right? Both of them, I feel like, are a little bit satisfied. They don't have that same edge that we do. Now, Liverpool have other issues. Liverpool obviously went and spent big. I think the Jota thing cannot be underestimated with going on with Liverpool. I mean, what's going on at the moment with Slot and his potential to be sacked, whatever, that's a whole other mess. But in terms of us, regardless of what was going on around us, we always were like, nah, let's focus on what we need to do, what we can control to become what we wanted to do. And I think we've taken the next step. It's just like at some point, I know you can say, oh, it's November and it's early. But like, this is why I feel like I've not been deluded. Everybody's thinking I'm deluded, and I've seen in all the comment sections and, by the way, I heard somebody say, how does this guy think they're winning the Premier League when they've never won a Champions League ever? I'm like, how do those two things correlate?
Yeah,
anyway,
that's just someone that's being kind of dumb. But we're like an hour in, and we have a couple more topics that we want to go, because we want to wrap up in like 30 minutes.
Saying, like, it's not. I just wanted to finish on my point though. It's like, it's not ridiculous. Look how good we're playing. Look how inconsistent everyone is around us. Not just in the Premier League, but in Europe. And today we took on the only other team on planet Earth who had the same amount of consistency as Arsenal, and we put him to the sword. Like, it's time to believe. I'm sorry. It's not us getting ahead of ourselves. If things fall on our face, it's because of something completely that we haven't seen coming. And it would be completely down to
I
us.
still think I no I disagree a little bit. I don't think
Yeah.
it's just on us. I think it's still possible to be very good and lose. Um, I think it's all going to be a lot harder to justify that in the Prem, but for the Champions League, I think
Oh
we can
yeah.
play.
You
I
know,
think it's still
start going
in
back
the
to the
champs.
two-legged
In the
games.
champs, I still think it's possible for us to play the best football that we've ever played and still not win
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
still just lose a game because it's just how the cookie crumbles, and that's football. I mean, like we were talking about Tottenham. Look at the Richarlison goal. Like that shit just happens, you know.
Mm.
It's like stuff like that just happens in football games.
I believe this
Um,
team has conceded 2 goals in 2 games.
yeah. As long as we're winning the games, dude.
Yeah.
And just to the next, just because you were talking about just the team and the progress. I think that goes well with our next topic, which is is Arsenal the best team in Europe right now?
Yeah.
And yeah, I knew you were going to say that, and the reason why I knew you were going to say that
So I
is
said it for a billion
because
years.
well, because I believe it, and I'm not as optimistic as you are. And
Mm.
if I'm thinking like that, then you probably do. And
Yeah.
I think it's not only because of how we look like in terms of and where we are in the Champions League table, but also when I'm looking at the field, when I'm looking at first of all, we're obviously the best team
Madrid,
in the
they've
Prem.
struggled to beat Olympiacos
Yeah,
today.
yeah, like just we're obviously the best team in the Prem right
Barca
now.
lost. Barca got smashed at the bridge on the weekend. I mean, 2 days ago.
And La Liga teams, they just keep losing to Prem teams. Like that's a conversation people are not willing to have. That every single time a La Liga team goes up against like a top 6, Prem team, they just lose, and I think Barca beat Newcastle, right? I was probably like the only one. And they
Mm.
still gave them a really good game. And Newcastle isn't even top 6 in the Prem, right? Like this season, and Chelsea just slaps up Barcelona. We slap up Madrid. We keep slapping up all the Madrids. Um, Manchester United beat I'm pretty sure they beat Athletic Bilbao. And yeah, it's just like our team, and then we just beat Bayern in the matchup. And I think the only team we haven't really faced again is PSG. And let's face it, PSG just don't look the same. They're not as good. And they also
Although
lost.
they
They
beat
lost the player. They also lost the player that won 2 back-to-back man of the matches against us in their
Donnarumma.
goalkeeper. Yeah. So the one guy that literally stopped us from beating them, they don't have anymore. I think we beat them. I think we just beat them.
Although Vitinha scored a hat trick today on Tottenham, which, by the way, that's
Not
back-to-back games for Tottenham conceding hat tricks.
Like you think Vitinha scoring a hat trick against Arsenal, it's not gonna happen. Vitinha is probably gonna score if we play them. He'll probably score a goal from outside the box like he always does against teams. But other than that, I think we're the best right now. All we need to do is prove it, because let's face it, I think there were a lot of seasons where Manchester City were the best in Europe and they just didn't show it, and they took a while to get it off the line, get it across the line.
None of your business says, you lads playing FIFA this year, who's the best Arsenal player when playing FIFA? Oh, actually, good question.
I was I was playing. I took a
yet.
break, but I'm pretty sure Saka has the highest rating on the team.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'll actually take a look at that now.
I think he's 89.
Yeah. Let me see.
I'm pretty sure.
FIFA or EA rankings.
FC 26. Yeah.
FC 26. Saka's 88 with a 90 potential. Victor Yokers is 87. Odegaard's also 87. Rice is 87. That needs to get bumped up. Gabriel's at 88. Saliba's 87. So there's Araya's 87. Those are your highest rating. Oh, you got Trossard's at 83. Is that
you just mean feel wise, or anyone you like in particular? Odegaard actually plays really well, and Saka plays very well
in FIFA.
Yeah, Odegaard and Saka feel the best to play with for me.
Well,
Like,
actually, Eze is better in real life than he's on FIFA.
yeah, way better. Eze is just the FIFA version of Eze. Is just not. It's just not Eze.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think it's pretty clear that we both think that Arsenal is pretty much the best team in Europe right now. And
Oh, and
as
I
I
mean, feel wise, anyone particularly
yeah,
smooth to
that's
play with? Do you know actually who's really smooth to play with on FIFA? Gabby Jesus. Every time I freaking play with Gabby Jesus, like in terms of being able to use him and get him
yeah,
into
it's
score
it's because of his height.
fucking-
Because FIFA has like a whatchamacallit, like a calibration thing where depending on how tall you are, like your ball and your ball control, sometimes the shorter players are like really smooth to play with.
yeah. Odegaard's really good in FIFA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saka's good.
Another topic that I wanted to
Anyway,
talk. Yeah,
dude,
another
this is gonna
topic that
sound
I
off topic.
yeah, another topic I wanted to talk about is it's a bit uncomfortable, and my question is Declan Rice the best player at Arsenal now, and did he overtake Saka as the guy for the team? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that is so tough, Cal. Why you put me in a corner like that? You're
Yeah,
pitting players against each other. I mean, obviously, their roles are different in the team, but in terms of
Yep.
who is less replaceable at this point, it would be Declan Rice. So, like for instance, today, Arteta was willing to take Saka off to bring Martinelli on, and it results in us scoring really both of our goals in the second half. Like he recognized that maybe Madueke or Martinelli are more suited to where I am right now in this game, and it's not like Saka's untouchable.
Let's not forget that
in general,
Saka set piece kind of helped us score the first goal. By the way,
Yeah, and by the way, Saka was amazing. Like Saka is phenomenal. Like I thought it was harsh. Like, when he came off, I was like, damn, that is harsh. But Arteta knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Well, I think we don't need to overplay these players.
About Chelsea on the weekend. But for me,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's still 1-1.
I was thinking about
Chelsea.
I thought you believed in the squad.
I do believe.
I wasn't worried. Then why does Saka have to stay on?
Worried. You just put words in my mouth. I'm just
saying. You just said, wait, hold on. Let's reel it back. I'm gonna pin this now. I got you. You just said I want to win the game. Why am I taking off Saka? Now, if you believed in the squad, you would say we can win with our subs.
We can
fresh
win
legs, and we did.
We can win with our subs. I just thought that Saka was having an outstanding game, and it's like we already had Trossard come off with an injury, so we're going to take off our other starting winger. But the other part to this was that Madueke and Martinelli coming fresh off the injury table.
Yeah,
like they've come fresh off the injury table, and
I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to just.
So there's like so many more aspects to this, but to the answer your question, to make a long story short, if Declan Rice comes out of this team, especially right now, because we got Gyökeres out and Marino's up front, I don't know. I don't trust Christian Norgard in our midfield at all. Like maybe if you got Havertz, Gyökeres, Jesus all fit to can play up front, so Marino plays in midfield. Because look, Marino today playing striker, I saw him most of the time in the midfield, and he made some really good. But again, he's still a downgrade to Declan Rice. Right.
No one is going to do. To be honest, in the team right now, we don't have another box to box. Like we don't.
To be honest, right now, Cal, let's be really frank. And I know people don't like this take because Arsenal, there's so much Arsenal hate, and everybody goes up. Whoa! I think Declan Rice is the best number 8 or midfielder in total in the world right now. Like. We played Federico Valverde last year, and he was running rings around the man.
Best midfielder in the world right now.
In terms of it's not always. People always get confused with how they look on the eye. Like,
I know
this guy looks really good on the ball. This guy's a great. Look at how great his passes through ball, this and that. But Rice just dominates the midfield. His vision, his work rate, his pace, he could literally run for days. He's more fit than anybody else. his
I think
desire, his tech. By the way,
yeah,
his technique is great. For all those who think he's not great technique, go back and
yeah.
watch Real Madrid last year and those free kicks. Look, he's the best free kick set piece taker there is on planet Earth. That's without a shadow of a doubt.
I think
Anybody
he's
who's
just
watching it,
I think
goes, look at the whip
yeah.
on that ball. From
I
Declan.
think he's the best box to box in the world because for me personally, I think midfielders get put in. Midfielders are probably the most diverse group of footballers in terms of what they're asked to do in their position, and they just get grouped together, right? It's really funny because you know during that same interview, Declan Rice was asked about Caicedo and that rivalry, and he said, "Hey, I picked Caicedo to be it was in my PFA Player of the Year. I nominated him, but he plays the 6. I play box to box. I don't know why we're getting compared to all the time. We play
Well,
different
we're going to
positions."
fix that. By the way, we're going to
But
pump up. By the way, guys,
and the thing is,
we
he's
are going to
kind
have
of
a podcast again, sometime in the next couple days with Chelsea. We're going to do another Thunderdome. If you remember back, we did one with Newcastle. We're going to do one with Chelsea ahead of this game. And I'm going to tell you this, right? When we do our combined 11, we're doing this right. It's going to be Enzo or Rice.
Yeah.
Not Caicedo or Rice. There will never be Caicedo or Rice in the same conversation.
And it's like people compare, Pedri to Rice, and it's like that's like insane. Pedri and Rice are just not the same.
Pedri is more Odegaard.
Bloody like strikers have more in common with wingers than like Pedri has with Rice in terms of what they do, and their roles. So yeah, I think the role that he plays in terms of like box to box midfield, there's no one. He's the best in the world, and I don't think there's any competition because in terms of what he provides with his link-up play, which is massively underrated, what he does defensively is insane. How much ground he covers, what he does for this team, his set pieces is like one of the best, if not the best set piece taker in the world. So yeah, he's definitely up there. I think if even regardless of position, he's definitely top 3 to 5 at least.
Yeah, top 5.
He's probably playing top 3.
I would love to do this in a different pod. We go back, we look at all the midfielders in the world, we come up with a list.
Yeah.
I think I want to do this. I want to start doing position rankings like at least like once a week with like top 5 this or top 5, but really like not saying off the top of our heads, but really doing the research and coming up with the candidates.
I gotta watch more games to do something like that though. I gotta watch position.
Yeah, but even if you just take a look at the underlying metrics, everybody kind of knows the best players. You kind of just take a look at again, there's also the eye test, and I know for a lot of people, Rice doesn't pass the eye test. And I think that has a lot to do with when before he joined Arsenal, the most spotlight he ever had was not playing in club level, was playing for England with Gareth Southgate. And the way Gareth Southgate utilized Declan Rice was like very minimalistic. He used about 20% of his entire skill set. Like when he started joining Arsenal and he was trying to play Arteta, he started to expand that. Like we bought him as a 6. He ended up expanding that to be an 8. And now you're starting to see all the other parts of his game, as we've alluded to already in this podcast. Yeah, that's why people don't rate Rice as much as he is. And it's kind of like they remember him playing in the Euros or him playing in the World Cup. And they're like, he's a sideways passer. He's a work rate machine, but he's a lot more than that.
He has a lot more to his game, and I always would like to say anyone would say that Arteta isn't a good coach. I think what he's done to some of these players in terms of upgrading them, he's done that quite a few times now, where he's kind of taken a player and pushed them, ascended them into new heights. He's done it with Timber, he's done it with Saliba, he's done it with Gabriel, he's done it with like Calafiori, he's done it with Miles Lewis-Kelly, he's done it with Saka, he's doing it with Rice. He's literally taking all these players and putting them in conversations that they weren't a part of before they joined Arsenal on his watch. And that's a sign of a good coach. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah. Anyway, for you, I'll reverse the question. We can move on to the last topic.
Yeah.
Has he overtaken Saka's most important
player? For
me,
yes. Yeah, he's the most important player at the football club.
You were much quicker to answer than me. I was like,
I mean, Saka's like some of my favorite players.
Saka's so good. Like The thing is,
Saka's
that
still my
Saka
favorite
is
player.
also really freaking important, and you can see how he
He's very
impacts teams.
he's very important, and he's
Like,
also
by the
part of
way,
our
Eze is benefiting from playing next to Saka.
Yeah, he is.
I'm
But
really interested to see what that
Declan
looks like in
Rice
Odegaard.
kind of like he does too much. He covers too much ground, and it's because of it's also because of the positions they play and the cover that they have. If we had another box to box that could do a job, um, maybe, but like especially and
Never
also
gonna have
because
him
of
does a job at that level.
the reliability of him, how he's just never injured.
Yeah, we're
You know?
never gonna be able to get
He had a bad first half of the season last season. He was playing with a broken toe.
The thing is that we're never gonna be able to get a player anywhere in the world that is willing to accept a job as on the bench who has any small drop off from Rice. Like, those players are all starting at other clubs, big clubs. Like, that's how highly I rate Rice. Like,
I mean,
who is that? Like, a drop off more, drop off more.
We could get a guy.
Like,
we could get a guy that could do something. I mean, I don't think Madueke and Saka's on the same level, but if Saka got injured, at least
you
I
have
know
to just elevate Arsenal to winning a lot of trophies. Like at Real Madrid, Tchouaméni is willing to come off the bench at times for Real Madrid and stuff. That's because he's at Real Madrid. Rodrigo right now is willing to come off the bench for Real Madrid. In order for us to be able to have a guy who can be a suitable replacement if Rice was injured, we would have to up that status.
I don't think so. I think we just need a guy, like a young player, in his like early 20s, like probably even late teens, that's hungry and will get game time and is like kind of a similar profile.
I think we got that, by the way. His name is Miles Lewis-Skelly, because I think he's going to lose his ability to be a left back now. And I think I see the attributes he's got. He needs to be a bit bigger, but his attributes has got to cover the pitch, and his vision and his ability to pass. I'd be more comfortable with Skelly in midfield playing if Rice was out than I would Moreno or Norgard.
Yeah, I would prefer probably that. To be honest with you,
I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's something that we need to see. But yeah, right now for me, Rice is the most important player at the football club. And we're just going to take it to our last topic of the day for the last 12 minutes. And, it's just talking about, and we saw it today, our players are returning from injuries. What do you think? How do you think that's going to affect the team? You saw Madueke come on, which is really good. We saw Odegaard come on. We saw Martinelli come on, which is like 3 players who were like out for weeks, in some cases months, and they all kind of just came on today. So how do you think it's going to affect the team? And what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, I think it will only benefit the team. The thing that sucks for me is that, like, for instance, today, before we got Martinelli and Madueke back, we had to lose Trossard. Like we don't know how hard, if that's a big deal. I haven't actually even listened to Arteta's post-game press conference. He was asked about that. Maybe we can follow that up. But if so, what here's the thing that affects me. I think in attack, Gyökeres, for instance, comes back this weekend. I think he goes straight in because, for instance, say like I think that Moreno has done well, especially in the last couple of games in that role. But today there's so many chances that Moreno was given that like he completely scuffed. Like, and I felt like, if you got
I still don't like it, but my main problem with Moreno is like in the transition. He's just not good in the transition at all. Yeah. And a lot of the times,
I think we're ready to chuck a formed
Moreno. Okay, I've actually cracked the code just when I was thinking about it. Moreno's good on the transition if he's already in the final third. Like if he's already hanging outside the box area, he's actually going to do something really good with the ball, whether that be like a shot or like a really good pass, like what he did with Trossard. If we're coming up to the halfway line and we've kind of just crossed the halfway line and he gets the ball, he just checks the ball back every single time. And he just stops our attacks like that. Yeah. When Gyökeres gets the ball there, Gyökeres will actually play a ball. He will actually hold the ball up, look around, do a pass, and continue on that transition. But yeah, Moreno is probably Moreno is good when we've already kind of finishing off the transition or we're trying to do something in a low block, trying to fight against a low block. But yeah, to be honest, I
Wow.
if Gyökeres is actually properly fit, I think he will literally eat Chelsea's defense for lunch, because they don't trust those guys.
I think that's
No
the
one,
card that I think Arteta is going to play this weekend.
and
It's going
he
to
will
throw them off
literally.
completely.
You think he occupies like two defenders? He'll occupy their entire back
Dude,
line.
Chalobah and Tosin are going to literally have nightmares if
Yeah.
all of a sudden the team sheet comes out and Victor Gyökeres is back starting up front.
Yeah, that's going to be a
They
problem.
are going to be shitting themselves.
They're going to be making mistakes.
By the way, not only is Gyökeres back this weekend, the other guy who's back this weekend is the backup in Kai Havertz, which adds a whole other. Yeah, Arteta said that the Gyökeres and Havertz are going to have fitness tests to see if they can be available for Sunday. So, like, that is a potential that we also got Havertz back. So all of a sudden, like, I would break down the players returning your question into different brackets. Forward line, it's only going to exponentially improve us. Our ability to score. We're starting to score goals and look free flowing on the wings and in the midfield, which is a beautiful, because it sets up for when we got Gyökeres or Havertz, either of the two or both, in the back in the lineup. Jesus also coming back too. When you all of a sudden all three of our forwards are going to be fit, that adds goals for a team. That's only benefit. We will not fall backwards because of that. Where it's interesting is on the wings. Is Odegaard's one. Odegaard coming back, because right now Eze is in like amazing form. He's found like a zone, finally playing in that middle of the park. And if you notice, Arteta has changed the formation to play Eze as a true 10 rather than as an 8. And so Odegaard hasn't played true 10 at Arsenal since 2022, I think.
I don't think he's. Oh yeah, he is.
But what are you going to do?
was
So
helping out a
you
little
have a
bit,
guy who's in form playing down the middle, and you're going to shift him to the left. And if not, you're not playing Odegaard on the left. You're going to put Madueke or Martinelli there.
I think Arteta.
So Odegaard's the one that's going to. It's the interesting one.
He's probably just going to start.
How he's going to come back.
He's just going to start Odegaard, bro.
Yeah, but the other ones.
That's why he got. That's why he got minutes.
The other ones, like the defense, right?
Yeah.
Like when Gabriel comes back, it's not a question. So
I think he should.
Yeah.
I think he should play. I think. Well, we're just talking about the Chelsea game now, but yeah, and that I guess that is part of the question. But like, yeah, and these are good problems, right? Where we have like these amazing players coming back, and it's like we have these guys who are kind of stepped up on their own form, like Eze, and it's like, man, what do you do? I think with the Gyökeres situation, I think it's pretty easy that you play him. I think Kai Havertz needs some embedding. He's been gone for way too long to even consider like starting him anytime soon.
You can also do so many things with Kai Havertz too, by the way.
Yeah,
that's what's interesting.
I just don't want to see him
because you got all these options, and because you got Gyökeres, you can actually plug and play Havertz maybe in the 10 on some games, or he could back up Rice. I mean, we tried doing it. It would cost us the league 2 years ago. I don't know if we want to risk it again. But he can't play there.
Hey, Anton, that's a really big caveat. Hey, that's like, hey, we tried this before. It didn't work once. It, by the way, cost us the league. Like, let's not do that again. We have like two
But I'm saying though,
we have 3 10s.
Who'd rather play at 8 if Marino or Havertz?
As an 8?
Yeah.
Marino.
Okay. Good.
Because Moreno has kind of shown that, like, because it's not like Havertz has been like banging this entire season. Like, he's just fresh. He's like fresh off injury.
I don't
know what Havertz we see. I don't know what Havertz.
We both agree. The trickiest players to reintegrate in the team are Havertz and Odegaard right now.
Yeah. I think Odegaard's
Martinelli and Madueke already shown you their bonus.
Yeah.
You're able to bring them on. Look, this just proves our point about Sunderland, by the way. If they were fit, we wouldn't have drawn that game. You will make that switch that he made today.
Who was fit?
Madueke and Martinelli. Look what the impact they did today.
I think we would probably do something maybe. I find it very, to be honest, the only reason I can't even say that the only reason we lost to Sunderland is because of what we did in the last like kick of the game.
Yeah, but the thing
We
is,
should
I
have
think we
won
could have
that game.
scored. That time we had momentum. I think we could have scored. We had a few chances to get on the break. Saka was leggy. Like he does the same switch today, and he brings on a
Like fresh
Martinelli
legs. Yeah,
or a Madueke for a
we
Saka.
probably
I
don't
think
get
we got to add another
we
goal.
probably don't get pinned in as we did. You're probably right. Yeah. But yeah,
So
I don't like going over old games and saying, oh, if this person was fit, if that person was fit.
yeah.
It just makes me a little
Again, I would
uncomfortable.
love to have played Liverpool at a different time of the season. That was not.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't really trust that. I think
More
even
than
if
a
we
wheelchair, by the way, in the captain in the comment section, captain section. Anyone else not want to see Odegaard start anymore with Eze being so good? Odegaard needs stripping of captaincy for Rice and Gabby. Look, more than a wheelchair. I'm starting to head down your thinking. The captaincy for me is a little bit, that's a whole other topic. But in terms of not wanting to see, I would be disappointed if Odegaard starts against Chelsea. I'll be honest, because
I would
Eze is terrorizing. Eze, but the question is though, is Eze start if Odegaard's in there, or is Eze starting from the left now that Trossard?
to be honest
might
with
have
you,
an
I
injury?
think it's
I don't
very
know.
easy to go, you haven't seen Odegaard in a while, but before Odegaard got injured, I was watching him play like the best football I've ever seen him play. Like, let's not forget what he was doing with that buzz cut. Like, he was cooking. It's just unfortunate that he got injured. I think
By the way, one more thing. Pause on that. I just thought about something. Unfortunately for you, if you're not seen, both Rice and Gabby have been available and Odegaard has been out, and Saka has been the captaincy. So you've skipped over Saka, by the way, who, if you stripped Odegaard the captaincy, would get the captaincy. I know that everyone has this idea, but Arteta thinks differently. So I'm just that second part of that statement.
Saka would be the captain if Odegaard got stripped.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest with you, Odegaard, obviously he's in the dressing rooms now. Like, it's not like he's just kind of like not at the club, and I think he probably does kind of inspire some of the players, maybe.
Yeah.
And I think stripping him at this point in the season, when we have all this momentum,
so good.
it's just gonna create
You're
so much
give
more
the media things to eat off of.
It's gonna they're gonna
things not good at Arsenal. They just stripped Odegaard the captaincy.
Yeah, like they're gonna eat that alive, and we're just gonna invite pressure on ourselves, to be honest. And I think the players kind of know what they're doing. I think the leaders have been leading, and a lot of leaders in the team lead with their actions or lead on the pitch with what they say. And I think the system's working right now. I think I'm not going to be disappointed if maybe for the very next game, because I don't think Odegaard's going to be 100%. I'll be disappointed if he starts, but I'm talking about, I want to see Odegaard integrated into the team.
Long term, you want it. For this game, for me, I just feel like Chelsea be what I've seen last weekend, what Eze just did to Tottenham in the 10. And for us not go with that again this weekend would be criminal, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, I think
Madueke starts on the left, by the way, against his former team. I think that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think so as well. But Eze is doing well right now. But I think Odegaard's definitely he's gonna come good. I think we're probably gonna see like a really, really good version of Odegaard. I do, based on what I've seen this season.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine?
And let's face it, like Odegaard and Eze, we haven't seen them play together much at all. And when we haven't even seen what that link up looks like. Like, we have no idea. What if we play games? What if we play games with like Rice, Eze, and Odegaard? What if we do that? What if we have games, because like Rice and Zubimendi literally play every single game all the time for the full 90? What if we can rest them and play way more attacking for some games? So I think we don't need to punish our players.
But one thing I would say is, like, I don't want to see a player never start again, because like that's the point about having this squad, that you have so many different options and we have so many different ways to plan against different teams. One day might be one opponent might not suit one player, it might suit another. and so you're never going to rule out playing your captain in his most natural position.
Also, I just want to play players that are in form because let's face it.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's
the last 2 games has been like the games where we've seen Eze kind of he's now starting to get legs. It's not like he's been scoring hat tricks every week, guys. Like, he's now starting to get legs, and there's going to be probably some other parts of the season where he maybe drops in form. I want Odegaard to, be there for that.
Boy, he's got so much. He's got so much to offer you off the left as well, Eze.
Yeah, as well. I think Eze is still our best person off the left, to be honest with you. You know, like as me and Anton, I think we both get upset about this. Like, he played the left 10 at Crystal Palace, and the way they set up was that they were literally almost like inverted wingers anyway, like the way they were playing.
I mean,
so
Michael Olise was a right 10. Where's he playing at Bayern Munich?
Right wing. These guys are versatile. They're not just like one thing players. So yeah, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Unless you have anything you want.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to add just a piece of business. Hey, make sure you're hitting the like button. By the way, guys, thank you so much for your support. This has been our most viewed live stream in the history of our very young channel. We've had over 284 viewers in the chat today overall. So big up to you guys, making sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. This is a great day for this channel. And yeah, I'm really proud of the stuff that we're doing here. And like, you don't know how much work in the background Cal and I put to put these shows together. So like, thank you guys so much for showing up today and for contributing and sending in your comments. Like, we will read every single comment that comes down. If we haven't, we apologize, but I'm pretty sure I've read every single one.
Yeah, we've caught them.
More than Wilches is my first time tuning in. You guys, good logic into what you say. Yeah, thank you so much.
Man.
Good logic. Yeah, appreciate that.
Thanks. Much appreciated, man.
And I also want to reveal I'm going to end the poll, reveal the results of our poll, which was, we said, how many trophies are Arsenal winning this season? The winner with 54% of the vote was 2. The second with 20% was 3. 13% was 1, and 4 was 13%. There's 13% of us think we're winning the quad, and 20% of us think we're winning the treble. So
to be honest, I think we're more likely.
That makes 33% of the vote think we're winning.
You know what's interesting? I think it's more likely we do a domestic treble than win the double. You believe that?
You know, I mean, look,
I think the Champions League is just so hard to win. You know what I'm saying?
Look, honestly, I'll take it. Fucking domestic treble? Are you joking?
Yeah,
a treble's a treble.
I
guess you need to have that chance to really to be a treble. Like, we can't chat this to the Manchester clubs who've achieved true trebles, but
yeah.
Oh man, if we fucking want a treble, I don't want to get to this conversation. I myself.
I'm just happy. I just want to win the league. I just want to get that over the hump, man, and then we can talk about other stuff afterwards. It's like that poll was literally just like a rage bait poll, like just to get people talking and to just get people mad.
To be honest, be honest with everybody, and Dave's gonna see this, me say this. David made a comment before the stream even started, and he was on edge, and I'm like, I'm just gonna push him forward.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, can we just put this in the chat? Me and Cal were just chatting, like, what would really be a rage bait poll right now?
Yeah.
And we took 0 out of the possibilities, like
just to piss him off.
Anyway, one last piece of business, by the way, guys. We will be live potentially even tomorrow. We're still trying to figure it out. So it'll either be tomorrow or it will be Saturday. So make sure you got your notifications bell ticked. We're going to have special guests, minimum 1, potentially up to 3 Chelsea fans in here. We're still trying to finalize the panel. There's still a lot of back.
It's going to be the second episode of our Thunderdome series, which is when we go up against, the big 6 clubs. We kind of want to have, rivals come on here and kind of give their say, and we kind of go back and forth and, kind of do combined 11, start talking about our players, start talking about the game.
Me and Cal have been looking forward to this one specifically because of Chelsea. And Chelsea's
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't like Chelsea, you know, and because they're, you know, in London and they think they're the biggest club in London, and I hate that they can say that because of the Champions Leagues, and I hate them, and you know, so it's always like a bit of a fiery thing. Our last episode was with Newcastle, which I think was really good because, you know, Ash, one of the Newcastle fans, hate Arsenal for some reason, so he's always fiery. But yeah, we're going to be doing a special episode there, and
By
I'm
the
looking
way,
forward to seeing you there.
love the as human beings. I love the Chelsea fans we're gonna have coming on here. Like they
Yeah,
are
yeah.
great guys. They're like honestly, but yeah, the Chelsea Arsenal debates are always entertaining to say the
Yeah,
least, and it
yeah.
can get very personal. They start coming after the trophies when they know they can't find another avenue. But watch out! I want to do a
Yeah.
counter, guys. By the way, guys, now it's just us, right? Hit the like button every single time a Chelsea fan on our show, either tomorrow or the day after, mentions how many trophies we've won.
Just hit it once, because if you hit it twice, you unlike the video.
Oh, right. Okay.
Doesn't
Something
need
else.
to
Just
like or
let's keep
like.
it, or just keep a count for us in the chat how many times it happens. Because I'm not gonna have a time to do that. We're gonna sit here in the middle of the conversation. I'm really curious to know how many times that's brought up. Because yeah. Anyway, I will say as little as possible because I don't want to deter our Chelsea guests from coming on, because obviously they're gonna feel more than welcome to come and have their say, and we won't interrupt them. We're gonna let them talk. We're gonna do the combined 11s. This is the chance for them to, you know, to talk their she, and for us to learn a little bit more about Chelsea. Because I'll be honest, I don't watch every single one of their games. I watch the ones that come on, like they were playing against Burnley the other day. I watched that one. I watched the one against Barca, which, by the way, credit to them, that was a phenomenal performance by them, and they could have beaten them like 11-0 based on like the chances that they created and the amount that were rubbed off. It's
I didn't
insane.
watch that game. I was watching Man City.
That Man City was, yeah, right, yeah. But I watched.
I saw them. I tuned in to check the score. They were 1-0. I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this game. I was like, I saw the 1-0 and the red
That's
card.
how it
I
was
was
right
like,
there down to 10 men.
I was just
Anyway,
like,
guys,
yeah, I'm not watching this game.
that is all we've had time for today.
Alrighty.
Make sure
See
you
you
hit the like
guys.
button and subscribing. Thank you again. This again, a record amount of views. We're actually 6 shy of 300 views for a video, which I know for a lot of people is not a big deal, but for us, like we're Genta in our live, we're Genta having like 10.
Yeah,
so like we've made like a massive 30 times as much as normal leap. So thank you guys.
The algorithm was a little kind to us today, which is really nice.
Yeah, thank you. And we also started really early in the morning as well, for England time. So yeah, guys, we will see you guys hopefully in the next couple of days. Well, definitely in the next couple of days, maybe tomorrow. We'll let you guys know. You'll see notifications. I will put in earlier kind of the time of when that's going to happen once we finalize it. But until next time, guys, Anton and Cal out.